flip. Second pick, Radiant, nothing new.
Alright. Coming to you live with the 5-minute delay cast of Mary Todd Lincoln versus PSGS. We're going into the draft now.
Wow, not even gonna introduce me.
I'm about to. I just wanted to
Gonna fucking
get us set up. I have to click scenes and remember to unmute stuff. So, this voice that you're hearing right now is your host, Talus, and I am joined today by the great, the one, the only, Goat Satan.
I would hope you would be hearing Talus's voice on Talus's stream.
And that's him, with the driest sense of humor you'll ever hear.
I mean, if I open up Talus X stream and don't see Talus X, I'm gonna be surprised. That's what I would expect to see, right?
Alright, so we are going to be joined by Nomad later on, probably, in games 2 and 3, but he got home too late to get into this game, and we didn't want to delay.
Oh no, it's X Talus.
So Nomad will be on for the next games. It'll be a little bit more hype because he has a lot of opinions, and he's loud. Alright, starting off with some bans. We just talked a minute ago about how they had that 41 KDA Slark, so that gets first phase banned against them. Not a big surprise.
I don't understand banning Underlord and Slark in the same phase on the same team, because like Slark counters Underlord, so why would you ban Slark?
It's AD2L. You ban the heroes that people like to play and have success with. That's why, because Underlord is the third most banned hero against Mary Todd Lincoln, and they've still picked it, tied for the second most. So it's very clearly something that they like to play. So you deny the comfort picks, and you have better chances of success, I think.
I'm just saying, I don't think you ban Slark and then I don't think you also ban Underlord if you know you're banning Slark. Because you can just take Underlord and like his worst matchup is out of the pool. Maybe Ursa is a slightly worse or still a bad matchup.
Yeah, if they want to pick him, but I think the PSGS boys like to pick the Mars hero potentially. It looks like they actually have a pretty good variety on their offlaner. He's played a little bit of everything, and there are no huge target bans against him that I can see. Although there is a lot of so the Mirana gets banned a lot against PSGS, so Mary Todd Lincoln bans that, and then bans a Nyx because that's just a good freaking hero right now.
The heroes are actually dumb.
It's very dumb. It's like, oh, just ambient damage. I'm going to click a button and stun the entire enemy team for like almost 3 seconds.
I mean, yeah, 2.4.
Yeah, it's kind of
and
insane.
then 2.4 second stun that literally just lets you walk over and be like, oh hey, another 2 second stun.
Yeah. Very strong hero right now. So the first bans look good from both teams considering what they play and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean the opening here, with a Willow, like first overall pick. I mean, I don't think I've seen this hero in a while. At least not in like a high capacity, like high level, high capacity amount. But I don't think it's bad. I don't think its shard is like that good. Like you get 4 brambles when crown ends, no matter what. But
I actually have played against it a couple of times in the last few days, and I feel the opposite of you. I feel like the shard is really good. Like every time I was stunned by Willow, and then there were the brambles afterwards, it just felt horrible. I'm like, this is dumb. I can't move forever versus this hero.
Aren't they spaced far enough away that you can just walk out of them?
No, I don't think so. They're like all 4 directly around you, like top, bottom, left, right. If you can micro through them, I think you got to be really careful, maybe. But I never successfully did it. I didn't really try hard.
Okay, Mr. Directional Move.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's their place like right around you.
We see Sand King OD. I don't care about the Witch Doctor. Sand King's decent. I would put him in like the top 5 category for offlaners right now. He sits up there with like Underlord, Slardar, Mars, Darkseer, and then probably another +1 up there, like Beastmaster or something, for me. But
lots of magic
OD.
damage for sure from these two.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to see it, but probably expect to see a Veil first item purchase on the Sand King. I personally think that going Veil first item on Sand King's a waste because it slows down your blink timing by like 1,000 gold and doesn't tangibly make you that much stronger.
It might be in this matchup here, though. If somebody gets in Brambles while under Sandstorm, they're guaranteed to lose half their hit points. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, I mean, this might be a game where you can say it's good, but
Do you
then we see
think
OD. Or
do,
go ahead.
do you think the OD is meant to be flexed, or do you think they intend to play in a
This OD
particular
can
role?
literally go anywhere. OD is that good of a hero right now that he can literally just be picked, and you can just be like, alright, just pick our other 4 heroes without having to pay attention to this OD, and then OD can go wherever we want it to go.
I agree. I've played against the OD a few times lately, and it feels in some games super duper strong, and in others completely useless. So I think you have to just know enough about how to leverage the hero's strengths, because sometimes it can feel like, oh, I do single target, and then I have one like banish thing, and I don't really have a lot of impact. But other times it can feel so oppressive that I don't know. I'm hoping that they do a good job with it. I
I
personally
mean,
hate playing against
sometimes
it.
it does partially come up to matchups. Like right now, looking at this, not even considering the bans at the moment, but like looking at these 2 heroes on PSGS, um, I would not say they're bad heroes into OD in any stretch of the word. I mean, Sand King can be a little sad into OD when you channel Epi, blink Burrow Strike a dude, and then OD just astrals
Saves him.
him.
Yeah.
But like, if you're just jumping the OD and whoever's next to him, then you don't find that issue.
Yeah, so OD's positioning is going to have to be pretty good here. If he does banish somebody
Yeah,
preemptively, the Willow can set up for, well, the Willow or the Sand King can both
that
set
as
up for the
well.
follow-up.
Yeah, that as well. If you can bait out the stunt, if you can bait out the banish, defensive banish, you have Burrow Strike, which, unless he has a blink dagger, you should basically be able to hit no matter what. Because Sandstorm isn't the type of spell that blocks blink out of banish. But yeah.
Pugna into and then Ogre. Alright, well, Ogre's another hero like Witch Doctor. Just people pick it a lot. It's
Yeah.
simple. It does its thing. It's never really a bad Ogre game.
It just fills a specific role of being this 5 hero that kind of has some nice utility, provides assistance in the lane,
Yeah, honestly, the
and
Ogre's kind of
can
nice.
give kill potential.
You just run up and you just start hitting the Pugna ward if he puts it a little bit too far forward. And if Pugna
Yep.
tries to, like, suck on anybody, you just stun the Pugna and you have so many hit points you don't care if you take the zap and you just keep hitting the ward.
Yeah, and your spells are low enough mana cost that, I mean, 100 mana deals maybe 150 damage max.
Yeah.
That doesn't really beat into an ogre that much. But also, the Pugna is interesting. I mean, normally you pick Pugna to counter OD, but they pick Pugna with the OD.
Yeah, that gives them a
On the
lot
side
of
here.
save type things. If they have a right-click carry, it's just going to give them a lot of saves. Decrepify, and then
I mean,
the
but the
heal
only
by the Witch
problem
Doctor.
is the decrep isn't any good because the 3 heroes that are showing are all magic damage.
It's still good. It's just not necessarily good in, like, it's not
I mean,
great,
there's
but it's still
Jug,
good in the
so
right
I mean,
situation. Jug goes
there's
over to Avis,
the,
decrep him.
someone gets Omni Slashed,
Yeah.
either gets Astraled or decrept.
Yeah. Feels pretty bad.
Or
Pugna,
one gets Astraled, the other gets decrept.
I feel the same about Pugna that I feel about OD. It kind of depends, like, it can be super impactful or super, super easy to lose on it. So, like, I'm curious to see how Mary Todd Lincoln plays these two, because I genuinely think this game could go really well for them, or they could just get stomped. Like, that sounds super like a cop-out to say, but both of those heroes strike me that way. The rest of the heroes in the game kind of do what they do. You know, they're just gonna do whatever. But these are really high highs,
Yeah,
really low
the Witch
lows.
Doctor Tide play their games. It's gonna be... Because, I mean, right here, it's either the, like... Unless this is a mid-tide, it's either Pugna or OD mid.
Almost certainly, yeah.
Yeah, unless it's mid-tide offlane OD for Pugna, which would make absolutely no sense why you would do that.
They banned the Drow.
I
I've
guess they're
noticed
confused.
a lot of people banned the Drow. Wait, is this the PSGS is banning the Drow? Yeah. Okay, so that's...
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting rid of, like, the carries that are left in the pool that
PSGS
are decent.
Drow is their most banned hero. I guess they just don't like playing against that hero. I have those
I'm
heroes.
surprised to see Ricky make it through here. I think Ricky could be a pretty solid
For which team?
pickup here for Marytide Lincoln. You could still mid Ricky. I don't.
Ricky could be okay.
Actually, I don't think you mid Ricky for PSGS into a Pugna. Now that I think about that,
Yeah, it feels a little rough.
you want someone who is low mana cost. If you're assuming this Pugna is mid, and you probably should be. At least that's what I'm assuming. It's a mid Pugna. So if we're looking for something low, like low mana cost.
What was that last ban? Arc Warden, by the way. Arc Warden banned.
You could technically still go Storm here and it might be okay. Well, no, because if you get hit by an Astral and then you get hit by Meteor Hammer, you'll die to Coconut and potentially Ravage.
I played against an OD last night who consistently missed the timing with the Meteor Hammer after the Astral. He landed the Meteor Hammer before the Astral let out, like literally every time. It felt
You
so
literally
good.
just wait, you literally just wait a second. They go Deuce.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
It's okay. I mean, it's decent in the Pugna because you kind of just restore your mana that you lose anyway, and
Yeah.
then most of the damage you take is damage from like when you cast Snake, it'll hurt your mana pool, or when you cast Snake, the ward will hurt you, but most of that damage goes to the ward anyway. What am I
Okay,
saying?
so is Dr. Placebo the mid laner for MTL? Because I feel like it has to be a mid OD now at this point. But let's see.
I don't think you run a Pugna Tide lane. That sounds horrendous to me.
I want to go see because I think the OD against the Medusa. I think your OD has to be hitting the Medusa. So let's give a look, see real quick. I should have done my research before the game. Who's their mid laner?
I mean, this last pick Ursa's pretty good as well.
Dr.
It's
Placebo.
decent.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So they're taking the OD mid. It's gonna be your Tide Pugna lane.
Sounds so much worse than an OD Tide lane. Pugna doesn't even match up poorly in the Medusa.
Not in lane, but later in the game, you've got to have somebody who can hit that Medusa.
That's why you last picked an Ursa.
Also Ursa into the Dark Willow. I think Ursa's going to need that nice early BKB, or else he's going to have a really rough time running around these fights. I love the Jug skin. Wow. Okay. Look at that thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this Ursa is probably going to go... Both of these carries are probably going to go Battle Fury. Whether they want to or not, they're going to be forced to if the other person goes it. Just because if one person goes it, you kind of feel like you have to in order to keep up with them. But actually, Jug might go for a more high tempo build, seeing as he has a Deuce on his team.
Yep, that would be a good idea here.
It could be like a Mjolnir Manta instead of a Battle Fury. Mjolnir provides much more team fight ability. It provides some. The shield is also really nice and some magic damage.
I got something going on with my the left side of my screen. My mouse keeps going off the screen. Not sure why it's letting me do that.
What am I looking at bottom?
What are we looking at bottom? Talking about the enemy team? The dire team group in here?
I'm looking at double boots tangos on both of these heroes.
Well, they want to be able to run away from the Jug spin, I suppose. Pretty normal items around the board other than that, though, it's looking like. Ooh, look at that. A lot of damage already output onto the Witch Doctor. We took Coconut level 1. Got a couple of
What I
wand charges.
feel like you don't take. I feel like you just buy a windlace, not boot.
Okay.
Because you're already going to be slowed by Ogre anyway. Likely. Who's going to come down here? I don't know. This just is weird. It makes no sense to me. Maybe I can stand corrected.
2 bounty runes each. We'll start off by looking at the mid lane, see how this goes. I'll pull up the last hit charts.
Mr. Placebo, or Dr. Placebo wins the block pretty handedly.
Oh, that spell. So
And
much
here
damage with one
comes
click.
And here comes the OD fun mechanics. Oh, I just press Q on you.
Like his
And
positioning is so great,
throwing you out of
actually.
life.
Oh, the uphill. You cannot waste that cooldown uphill, mister. Try it again? Okay, he gets lucky that time it lands. That's very bold to try it twice in a row.
I mean, it's only a 25% chance. The odds of you getting two 25% chances in a row are like,
half 25% chance.
it's like 12%.
Alright, so mid's kind of going as you'd expect for now. We got he got his level 2, so now he's got mana back from Essence Flux. We'll go look at bottom. Tidehunter's doing his thing. Jug has no last hits yet. But he does have a deny. 2 denies. This Mr. Lungbutter doing everything he can. I love those plays. Very nice play, Lungbutter. Just a little harass, little cheeky spell usage to stop the one last hit that Jug was going to get. Very cool. A couple of couriers on the way out, bringing them a full wand on Jug. That's a little stat and slot inefficient in the early game. I'm probably hold off
I mean,
on that for
you
now.
know Tide has Anchor Smash, which is a spam spell. You also know Pugna took Decrepify, so you know he's going to want to be using that, so...
Yeah, I just figure you're going to be taking enough harass from the Pugna, you'll probably use your wand when it gets to 10 charges every time. At least that's my thought process. But, you know, the guy clearly thinks something else.
I mean, some players care more about just being able to maximize wand charges so you can pop it later instead. And also, early on, Pugna doesn't do enough damage to really
They're going to
warrant,
spin out.
like...
There's the spin on the Tide, getting first blood going the way of PSGS here, bottom lane.
Yeah, and this should be if Jug can...
No.
He
All right.
didn't get a crit.
A little bit of not running ahead of the Tide, a little bit of lazy button clicking on PSGS, and I think they could have killed that there if they'd been a little more aggressive about attack moving. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Ursa's not having a great. He's having a good lane. He's not having a great time though, as the Sand King gets a couple of levels, starts getting this caustic finale. It's going to be harder and harder for the Ursa to hang out.
You know, this... One thing I'm actually surprised about here is I would have gone 1-1-1 or 1-0-2. When you're against an Ursa, someone who's forced to have to man up and be in melee range of you,
Yep.
You just want to be able to just drop or caustic creeps and push them out. Or you want to be able to just sit in Sandstorm.
Beautifully executed first blood by the Whipper on the Dark Willow. He knew that this Witch Doctor at level 2 doesn't have anything to threaten him, because Maledict at level 2 is a complete garbage spell. Until you get...
He could have taken Voodoo Restoration and threatened him so much.
Yep, but he saw that he didn't have that, and he's not got level 2 Maledict yet, so he's got no fear whatsoever. Just tanks all the right clicks, all the attacks. And, oh god, the Caustic Finale doing so much work. Thebe making mistakes, manning up, and then running right back to his death, leaving the Ursa a little bit at the mercy of these two offlaners, but they're doing other things while Ursa last hits under tower, so he's fine with that.
Oh, this is really weird that... Oh no, IV? Or is it just 5, I guess? 4, I mean? Probably just 4. Maybe it's IV.
Yeah, I don't know actually. I'm not familiar with that player. We apologize for mispronouncing your name, Ivy, or well, we're gonna call you Ivy. If it's 4, then
I mean it's I and V, which is Roman numerals for 4. So I'm gonna assume it's supposed to be 4 because it's capitalized. It's really weird that he
nice spin down onto the Pugna bottom lane. Very good aggression coming out
yeah,
when they were vulnerable.
That's the thing that sucks about Pugna. I mean, you can use Decrepify on someone, but if you use it on Jug, he just spins. And if you use it on yourself, he just spins.
So the Medusa now has taken over the mid lane. Actually gets a DD rune 2 on top of it, which has helped out the last couple last hits, I'm sure. The OD consistently dodging the Mystic Snake, but the Medusa,
That's not what you want to be doing, though.
you don't love it,
You want
but
to be
you don't want to be getting hit by it either, I guess, you know?
You don't want to be getting hit by it, but you also want to be stacking up that Dota underscore tooltip underscore modifier obsidian
Yes.
modifier. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be stacking up the astral imprisonment.
And
charge.
not to mention, that's 280 damage that you're not putting out onto the Medusa every time you do that.
Yes, and also it's not 20% of her mana pool that you're stealing, which means it's harder and harder for her to use Snake. Like, yeah, you're dodging this, but this isn't netting you anything.
A little bit of creep manipulation happening in the bottom lane, as Subwoofer and Lungbutter are trying to do everything they can to get last hits and make it hard on the Jug. Very nice play. Jug is out of regen. Oh, but the Ogre saves the day by having his buddies back. Well, that's a good support for you right there. Rusty
Jug
Shackleton.
decided to put his wand on the ground instead of just backpacking it. This guy's asking to get Swindle Melon.
No. I respect it. It's much faster. Your wand, you don't have to wait for the 6 seconds to re-come back in.
You just take it out of your inventory for 4 seconds and then put it back in.
Man, some of us have been playing since the old days, and it's just a habit, you know?
Yes, and that's how you lose items.
Nah, that's a Pugna Tide. They're very obvious where these guys are at. Tide's huge and Pugna's got a big ass head. So it looks like Ursa's doing great. Ursa is being left alone by the Witch Doctor a bit. And that's fine, because all he wants to do is hit creeps under tower. He can tank the damage. He gets last hits easily, easy peasy. Next up, Sand King getting everything he wants, because that's what Sand King does. He's got the second most last hits, but some of those are creep jungle camps, so they're not quite as valuable. And then the Jug is doing fine
he's within 100 net worth of him.
Yeah, we should check out net worth a little bit here. So yeah, he's just behind, even though he's tied with CS basically.
I'm
Jug's gonna
really
run down this
confused
Pugna
by
again.
Four's skill building here. I don't think you ever max Barrow Strike first. You want one of your farming tools first.
If you're in a fighting lane, I understand it, and I've heard people say that that's doable. But in this lane, you're not fighting. You don't want to man up to the Ursa only to have him then turn around and hit you and kill you. So I don't know. I agree with you.
I mean, even in a fighting lane, you'd rather just have more Caustic or more Sandstorm. But again, Pugna going down bottom, and then we'll see the Omni Slash come out. Very hopeful, but Tide going 1-2-2, so
the classic didn't notice the creep wave right there. But the lane's going really well for the Jug. He's playing it well. He's got 9 denies, which is the second most.
Well, no, Jug Omni tied way before Tide got to the creep wave. It was just Tide takes no damage.
And that, yeah, sure. All I noticed was the end where he was fully in the creep wave.
You know, it was like the last half second that was in creep wave.
We look middle, and we had Meteor Hammer out on the OD. Really good timing, but he mistimed the
was way late.
Yeah, well, I guess at that, it's only 3.25 seconds, and the Meteor Hammer cast time is...
You know, at level 3, you have to cast it immediately.
Yeah. He's just a little bit too slow. I think the range on the Astral is bigger than the range on the Meteor Hammer. But he does use the...
No,
Here, he's got another one.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're about the same.
We're watching a little ring around the rosy in the mid lane, as the Ursa just keeps hitting whatever creeps are nearest to him, and the Jug's doing the same. Meanwhile, support's doing
Astral Imprisonment might have like 100 cast range.
The Ogre is giving up his life, but he takes down, gets a ward for 20 gold too.
Alright, he hits the second one.
Ooh, the Ogre has so many hit points, and I guess he lives. He gets home, so he starts healing before that last tick. He takes the 20 gold from that Pugna ward and then gets the heck out of there.
Yeah, we're at the point of this lane where Deuce is gonna just say, hey, anyone want my lane, I think, and then he's just gonna leave.
Sand King is just
Sand-
left the Ursa alone now to free farm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if like 4 here is like doing some big brain shenanigans that I don't understand, but as an offlaner, I understand nothing of what he was doing or trying to accomplish from these plays. Ooh.
Alright, got the
User
banish.
throwing out a snake without having mana shield up and there being a ward.
Yeah, ouch.
Jug? Gonna
Jug is
spin onto...
not quite
Oh,
Omni
doesn't
Slash,
want to
not
commit
quite
under
ready.
tower. Would have had that kill, I'm pretty sure, if he'd committed under tower. You still had like 2-3 seconds left and would have been enough.
What
Burrow
a
not out in
beautiful
time.
coconut by Thebe. Saves the stun.
Ravage onto 1.
Beautiful play by MTL. Very nicely done. I don't think they expected the Tide to suddenly be there also, who noticed that was happening and walked up from bottom lane. Good
I
awareness.
mean, I don't think the tide changed anything.
Well, I must say that the coconut came out. The Sand King was trying to interrupt that play by Dr. Placebo, and the coconuts just stunned him like probably a half second or less before he stunned. Very
I
nicely
like the
done.
Ursa just trying to take this triple
Oh
stack
god,
and
yeah,
dying.
with no health regen, no cleave. Yeah, it's a little bit. Oh, this will help him though.
Interestingly, Dr. Placebo is deciding to not finish any of his skills, but go 3-3-2. I feel like
I don't know the build on this, but I will say that I noticed he was like, I think he was 1-3-1, which was the build you're supposed to go. I don't know why he didn't finish out
the build you're supposed to go is 1-1-1. You go Orb, Flux, Astral. We'll see just a TP out.
Is he
unless
gonna get
gets in
banished?
range.
No,
No.
very close, very good try. The cast out onto Thebe is enough to kill him
But-
for the Dark Willow. Oops.
Willow has 7, so 360 bonus damage, and
Pretty good.
Pugna manages to die alone to Jug again because of spin.
Oh, I was checking around the map. It was nice. The Dire did take that ancient stack. It took them a little bit of time and effort by the mid laner and their safe laner working together, but they got it, which is pretty huge to deny that from the Jug, who is not quite at Battle Fury.
But yeah, I mean, the build you're supposed to go is 1-on-1, like I said, Orb, Flux, and then you get Astral, and then you just max Astral.
Well,
'Cause
that's
it's
the
your
thing.
most-
He went 1-1-1, and he started maxing Astral, but he got it to 3, and then started going. And I think he did that because at 3, you have the time to set up the Meteor Hammer, and maybe he wanted the higher damage output by the Arcane Orb.
Arcane Orb doesn't increase damage output, just cooldown.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, it's effectively damage output. Using it more often.
I mean, you also lose 4 seconds of cooldown on Astral Imprisonment each level as well.
This is true, but
Which
the
means you can
Meteor
use it
Hammer
a lot more.
cooldown is longer, and you're not using it without Meteor Hammer probably. So it's a thought out decision, I suspect, by Dr. Placebo.
I don't know, I think mathematically just having Astral and using it more often is just always more damage. They managed to get both Tide and Witch Doctor down bottom.
Nice rotation by the supports into the bottom lane.
Omni used Ravage. He doesn't have mana as of now. I don't know if he had Mango, so he definitely could have had mana to use it if he wanted to, but
Switch over to the net worth graph now too.
doubt he did.
Ursa's at the top, followed by the Jug. The carries are doing their jobs. OD's a little bit behind in the mid lane, but Ursa's been farming better. And that Sand King is pretty rich.
Yeah, I mean, OD's only farming method right now is using Astral, so...
Speaking of Astral, there it is. And
Or not
save.
using Astral, it's using... His farming method is killing heroes and using Meteor Hammer.
Yeah,
Ooh, Witch Doctor might get Ogre's Courier here.
that's very nice. And now that they know the Ogre was over there, they'd run there, but Ogre's already worked his way out. After this game, I'll take a minute to try to figure out what's going on with the left side of my screen, so I apologize to the viewers every time my screen shoots off to the left. Ursa's got his mask. He hasn't queued up another item yet. Not sure what he's going next. Sand King's TP in bottom, looking to make a play onto the Tide again, probably.
Ursa
Here.
went mask, huh?
Get the blink reveal coming out from the Sand King momentarily.
That's interesting that Ursa would go mask. I feel like you're the majority source of Oh, we do see Ravage down bottom. Jug spinning, looking for Tide here. The stun will come out, and he will get it.
Yep,
Will
and he kills him
drop
under
the shell,
tower.
but sucks to try to save. Ford tries to not steal it and manages to not.
What do you know? You bring 4 heroes to fight 3 heroes, and the 4 heroes win. Nicely done. Good here. That's what they call in war the principle of mass. You leverage your
You
forces.
mean the Russian theory? If you
No,
have more
that's
men
US
than they
theory.
have. No, if you have more men than they have bullet, how can they out-bullet your men?
You gotta leverage your forces at the appropriate time so that they're the most effective strength. All right, and oh gosh, the OD runs uphill
We'll
into
find
they're still together.
Will not see Epi start channeling, not wanting to risk.
OD is still alive somehow, but the others have all died.
Is now starting to
he's
channel
gonna come back.
Epi. It does get off. They will.
Ooh, and the
Here comes out the
ogre
fear.
is
It's
gonna
pretty
tick
good.
down.
Ogre will go down here.
Yes.
But I mean, they
Feed
trade.
with the late BM death ward after the ogre's dead.
I think this trade is fine because you force Ursa to come rotate to fights that he doesn't necessarily want to be fighting in, or because he doesn't actually gain anything from that fight. Like, he didn't get a kill, he got a little bit of assist gold, but
Yeah, the ogre.
well, Deuce is just farming.
The Ursa has lost
And-
his top net worth spot now,
Yeah.
and the Willow though comes with a really good timing on her Yules. Got the Yules by 16 minutes. Well, just after
Yeah,
I guess
and
it's on
Jug
the way.
also has his Battle Fury now, did decide to go a bit greedy, so if they want to, they can just outscale this Ursa. This
Yeah,
Ursa
it's
is
looking like it.
what. Yeah, this Ursa is what they need to kill Dusa. Because Dusa will buy enough stats that she can have a large enough mana pool to not die to OD easily.
A little bit of a feels bad rotation by MTL. They finally bring 4 heroes bottom to where the fights all just happened, but all that they have down here is a tier 1 tower and then a Sand King who's going to be hard-ish to kill. I guess not too hard with all of these people. You don't care enough.
They have no dust. They have a single Obs ward. He
That
thanking
was unnecessary
does not
Sand King,
man
but
up.
he's going to get out of there.
Does have his blink dagger, so he'll just leave unless his ogre wants to show up here.
Not
He'll
sure why Ogre wants to show up here, but here he is. Rusty
give the tower
Shackleford
some
may have made a
attack speed.
mistake.
Jug TPing in.
Interesting.
Ursa did finish and get Roche.
Interesting.
Well,
I don't know.
The Witch Doctor here, unless
I don't love this rotation by the Jug. He could have just been farming this whole time, but I guess he keeps farming down bottom now. These guys.
I think they had a small glimmer of hope that they'd be able to save that tower.
Yeah, but it does go down, and then it's still fine though because MTL had more wasted time there. They get a tower, but that whole time your OD was just sitting around the trees waiting for something to happen.
And I think right now they're looking for some way to properly show off this blink.
Alright, they've got a blink up now on the Tide, who uses it to catch the Ogre. And the Dark Willow does come out with the nice ulti, hits everybody, but the spells had been cast and were in the air, so the Ogre still goes down.
Yeah, I mean, again, if they literally just farm here for PSGS, they will have no issues going past 40 minutes. Because Ogre, Sand King, Willow defend towers pretty free. They push lanes pretty freely. If you just let Dusa and Jug be like 5k ahead of Ursa at 40 minutes, there's nothing Ursa can do.
The OD is going second item Ags. Okay, they smoke up on MTL. Looks like they're going to go try to find one of these big ticket heroes, the Medusa, the Jug. If they find the Ogre, they're going to be a little bit sad about it, but...
They should be able to find this Deucer. She'll show them the wave, and they should be able to go and head
is.
into her. She'll go to the...
Do they keep their focus? Oh
Oh,
no! The
they'll use
accidental...
Ravage, waste half of Witch Doctor.
But they do kill the Medusa, they do kill the Ogre, the Jug TP's in just to run away.
Full rotation's coming out.
Yeah, Dark Willow does get a little bit too deep as well and runs for her life, but she's gonna get caught because Blink Dagger is a good item.
We will see the consolation kill come out on the backside.
Yeah,
with
while
the
they're
Witch Doctor, but
his whole team is chasing, the Witch Doctor was remaining by himself. I didn't see what he was trying to do. Thebe with a couple of questionable positioning plays this game, but a couple of nice plays as well. Oh,
I mean, I think they just take it to him right here.
Ogre's
I mean,
TPing right
yes,
back in.
there is Aegis, but you have Epi right here if he wants to use it. He will, but it'll break his Blink Dagger, but it won't matter.
Pugna with the beautiful plays, but no detection for the Sand King at this time. Gives the vision to the Ursa, who gets his ulti off and doesn't die to the Sand King Epi Burrow Strike. Very, very nice by the Pugna. Lung
Yeah, I mean,
butter.
that ward just kind of messing up what Sand King wanted to do there, I think. Sand King wanted to just Epi and go on someone a bit further back, probably. Because just going on Ursa isn't going to do anything, because if he knows you're going to be coming in, and he'll hear when that first, like, the Ursa will hear when the Epi goes off, and know to just press Enrage.
Yep.
Because that's just what you're going to do. If you know Epi's coming in, you just press Enrage. Because Epi lasts,
Dire structures are fortified.
I think the pulses are like 0.2 seconds between each other.
Oh, little dance of the supports here in the jungle. They run at each other, they see each other, spook each other, and run away. The classic. Now they have to figure out who has wards where, and the Dire has some really nice wardage going on the bottom half of the map. Let's see if the Radiant de-ward it. No, they just go in. Oh, nice ultimate.
Nice Willow ult to just get him out.
And they all live though, so now they just regen. This Ursa blinks in, gets a couple of hits off before the Willow can react. And the Willow is going to go down. It's a
she'll
nice
use
Ursa
herself
play.
up to try to help, but
yeah, it sucks.
Ogre. Yeah.
They expended the ultimates, and then the Witch Doctor just healed them all back up, and they just ran back at him again. Oh, we got the Juggernaut going bottom, being a little bit insane here.
He needs to. He has his Manta. He pops it.
Wow. Juggernaut running into a questionable spot. Very nice play by the Ursa to realize his weakness and just run at him, knowing his team is there to have his back.
I think there was a lack of communication here, because if they communicated that Ursa doesn't have Enrage, Jug can just Omni/Ursa and man up on him.
Yeah, although in that situation, their terrible decision, because either way, Pugna was in range of the Decrep, and then OD was close enough for a very quick Astral response to just a little bit of a weird place to run up to.
Potentially, but you're still better off just going for it than just accepting death there.
But the Medusa did good that fight.
Maybe
and didn't take the bait, stayed up there, kept farming. Although she is not in the lead with net worth. Jug is still at the top despite that death, and Ursa has now surpassed the Medusa again.
Ursa has this Blink Dagger item. I mean, you have these double Blink Daggers, but I don't know about it. He's going. He's rushing Swift Blink instead of getting an Abyssal Blade. Even more questionable about that.
I'll tell you what. I don't understand what happened in Dota. For the longest time, Ursa's always went Blink, and then I guess the Abyssal range got buffed. Every Ursa said, no, I gotta go Abyssal Blade. I don't go Blink anymore. Blink's bad. Abyssal's good. And then like nothing that I know changed, and now they're all going Blinks again. I guess because it can build into something now, maybe. I don't know. But it seems like Blink didn't get any better except the fact you can build into something. But now everyone's going that instead of Abyssal.
Blink also got slightly worse over time. It used to be 10 or 12, or it was like 11 or 12 second cooldown, and now it's 15.
Oh,
so it lost
the vision. There's a fight about to kick off top. Ooh, the blink is just too slow as the Sand King blinks a little bit faster. The Tide almost caught the Sand King, but he got vision blocked by the trees. And they're all just going to go back off and go back to farming. Medusa's still sitting here in her triangle, King of the Hill, Queen of the Hill.
Jug still has a Wraith Band queued up in his inventory for some reason.
Gotta be slot efficient, man. Yeah, he has an empty slot there. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Maybe it's a replay.
He's had this Wraith Band queued up in his inventory the entire game.
Could be like a observer glitch or something.
I don't think it is. I think he genuinely has a Wraith Band just queued up and just not been buying it.
Ooh, another smoke. So we're seeing a lot of smokes come out by Mary Todd Lincoln. These teams like to group together and then make a smoke play. The first play I saw them group was not very good. They went bottom when they didn't need to go bottom, but the last few have been pretty successful, and they're going to get the Jug if they're patient here. Oh no, the Jug runs the other way. I think they feel it.
Yeah, I mean, they want
The Willow pings it out.
to do something here. They will find Dusa, though, which she does get ulti off.
Very fast reflexes by the
Really
by the
good.
Medusa. Tide kind of wastes his Ravage, but
Jug
it saves
will-
the
Jug will be able
the
to
Jug
spin.
going off.
Epi's coming in. He's not able to
Not
actually
hitting
get the blink off
anybody with
again
it.
because of...
Pugna helping the Tide Hunter.
Oh, Omni Slash will come out
That
on Ursa,
hurts.
who already used Enrage.
Wow.
Think
All right.
they'll
All
also
right.
get the Witch Doctor here.
I think.
Nope.
Oof.
Ooh, Sand King was looking for more, but it was a little bit too slow on the Burrow Strike.
That Medusa's fast reflexes there, dedicated. Congratulations on your reflexes. You getting off that ultimate that fight really saved your team from wiping there. And then it didn't help that Subwoofer kind of panic ultimate to stop the Jug from ulting and hit only the Jug with the ultimate. And then was promptly, the Pugna promptly cast Decrepify on the Tide while he was under Sandstorm, which felt kind of bad. A little bit of a misplay there by a couple of Mary Todd Lincoln players, but a nice play started off by the Medusa.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Deuce is the hero you're trying to jump. Because unless you are capable of stun locking Deuce till death, and you don't have anything that gets rid of her mana, other than Astral, and you don't really want to Astral Medusa in the middle of a fight, because then Sand King is just gonna blink Burrow Strike you to protect his Medusa and not care what happens to himself.
Well, the Medusa was the first target they walked into, so it's either go after her or back off and reset and try something else, and they decided to go after her, but she just reacted too fast. I think they had the damage to kill her. If she didn't get that ultimate off, 100% she dies within a second and a half there. Because of the damage coming out by this team.
That's where an Abyssal Blade would have came in. I mean, maybe he needed the blink to get in range, but one of the things also that made Ursa stop going Blink Dagger is the Earth Shock.
The ogre is baiting. The ogre is baiting.
We see both of the
Oh,
Astrals
they don't
already
take the
get
bait
used.
because they have good vision on the high ground, so they see the Sand King trying to be sneaky.
We'll see
Ooh,
Jug
and that's
come
the
out,
Ags
who-
on the Jug, shows the Swift Slash into the Ursa and takes him down. Very, very nice play so far.
Ursa
here by the
used
Radiant.
Mask of Madness.
Oof, that's a hurt. That hurts. OD can't get off the banish because of the stuns by the Ogre. Oof. A little
Yeah,
bit of,
we
I think,
should-
miscommunication there about who to go on and when. Ooh, and the
Well, Ursa wanted
Butter
to
going
commit
down, too.
on whoever was coming out of Astral, so he just masked, looking at the Ogre, and then Jug, who was like a little bit away, just knew he could just go on Ursa.
Well, I think you
because-
missed it though. When they had two people in Astral, the Ursa ignored them both, jumped past them, even though one of them was an illusion, and landed on the Sand King in the back lines.
Yeah, and the Sand King got decracked.
Yeah, that was really more miscommunication, I think, causing that one.
Yeah, it's just people not saying who they're going on.
Everybody this
In-
game having little bits of little flashes of greatness, and then making little oopsie mistakes. Everyone's having their share of oopsie mistakes so far, but that's kind of that's kind of normal. But nobody pooping the bed, nobody playing like a god this game.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say this Pugna has been horrible for them, but I have not seen the value of this Pugna other than to prevent Sand King from Epi Blink Burrow Striking. That's the only value I felt.
The lead
at this
on the
point-
Radiant Heroes is getting bigger, by the way, so they need,
Yeah.
if they have late game farm, they probably win this game, and right now, they are in a position to get to that point pretty soon.
I mean, Jug's 5k ahead. Ursa can't fight a Jug 5k down. You just can't.
I've
Not
heard-
with these items.
I've heard other people use the rule of thumb that's kind of like, if your gold lead is half as many in thousands as the number of minutes in the game, you're winning pretty hard, and that's what's going on here. They're less than 30 minutes in, and their gold lead is greater than 15k. So half as many 15, half a 30. They're in really solid spot. I think that's held pretty true. It's not a end
So
all be
what you're
all,
saying is if the gold lead is more than half the time,
but in
then they're
thousands. Yep.
winning. Instead of that convoluted statement you just made.
That's not. It's not more than half the time. It's many times the time. The time is only 28 minutes.
Okay, the gold lead doesn't show if they're below 1K. It just says less than 1K. So
The viewers
gold
know what we
lead up
meant.
there.
God damn it.
Yes, and I simplified it for people who are dumb.
I believe that my viewers are smart enough to understand what I said.
There's a lot of dumb people. Willow, up here looking for something, does not have the detection.
Interesting.
quite
Trying to
in-
solo the Witch Doctor, but instead just gets caught up.
He maybe self-yules? No, I don't think
Oh.
he gets blink off.
Oh.
You know, he can't get blink off, but they have no stun.
No.
They ravage.
No. Placebo sits there, takes a moment, a pause, reflects on what he just let happen, and then TP's away in shame. Alright, looking bottom. While that's happening, all the space the Willow is creating, the Radiant have started taking the bottom racks. They got the tower already. Ogre's gonna go
dead.
down.
I don't know why. Ogre decided to step up onto the high ground for some
Let
reason.
his team get out. It's called putting your body in the way, making space.
Well, he was up there placing wards, it looked like, after the tower went down.
I was distracted by the Willow up there too, just like the entire Dire team, which gave the Radiant a lot of opportunity to take a free tower.
That Willow literally just threw herself at them and was like, "Hey, look at me! While my team takes your tier 3," and
Yep.
then was able to leave.
Yep.
Even if Willow dies there, Willow's satisfied with that.
I was wondering why the OD didn't use the Meteor Hammer out of the Astral. I guess he just assumed like, free kill. But then by the
Well, I
time he
think
realized
I think he knows Willow has Yules. I would assume he knows Willow has Yules. It was her first
yeah,
item.
well, I then use it after the Yules, but like he didn't start using it till the TP was almost gone off.
You know, he definitely could have used it coming down from Yules.
Sand King's...
Unless he's not comfortable with that timing, but...
Ooh, Sand King's going a halberd, by the way. He's almost got it here coming up. Like, he's got like another 2,000 gold to go. And that's going to make Ursa's game really, really bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's only the talisman and recipe away.
Alright, how's our vision looking? We're de-warding on the Dire, or the Radiant. There's no Dire vision. There's one over here, which is kind of nice. But normally I like to have one in lane so you can see what's going on further back.
But yeah, I mean, we're at this point where
Dire see
Ursa
that ward.
is lower in net worth than all 3 of the cores on the Radiant. Jug gonna commit a little bit with the
Little Swift Slash just runs in to
Not
put some
gonna
damage out. Soften him up a little bit.
hit tower a little bit while bloodlusted.
Ooh, taking a lot of
It
damage.
is forced to just spin.
Jug took a lot of damage, honestly, before the spin
Ooh,
went
Jug
off.
almost got hit by me.
Yeah, that was close. Alright, we got a lot of
They did
stacks
get
on the OD
out.
now.
Oh, Jug!
Whoa.
OD was confident with
Yeah.
with over 1,000.
Oh, very nice. Very nice ult by the Tide. Gets the
Jug's
Jug
not
as
able to
soon
get
as the
anything
second
off.
life pops up. Medusa does hit her ultimate. Sand
Oh,
King
but
Burrow Strike comes in. A
good
lot of
use
damage
of all-
going off. Too much damage by the
Good kill.
Medusa.
Buyback on Ursa though. OD will go down here as well.
OD's still putting out
OD
damage.
does
Has
have
buyback
buyback
herself.
available if they want to commit to this fight.
And
At this
Medusa is
point-
out of everything. Alright, a couple of buybacks needed by the Dire, but they're going to clean up this fight here. Willow and Sand King running for their lives. I think we'll get away. Unless the OD... Nope, no blink on the OD.
I mean, they did get dust at the very last second, but he didn't get hit. Willow should be out as
Oh,
well.
he's going to have a slow. Returning the slow. How can they catch? Pugna is a fast boy.
Ooh, he
And
won't
the
be able
banish.
to blink out
There
this
you
will
go.
be dead Sand King.
Oh. Yeah, alright, Ursa going to
See,
keep
if
doing.
Sand King had his Ags here instead of Pipe. Well, actually, no, he should have Pipe.
Pipe is
If he had an
nice.
Ags here instead of Lotus.
That was a good defense by these guys. Dr. Placebo, feeling the strength of all of the charters he built up, throws down the hammer, almost one-hit KOs the Jug. Doesn't do a lot to the Medusa, but all you got to do is get rid of the Jug, which sets up for the follow-up from
Yeah,
Tide
I
Hunter.
mean,
Very nice.
PSGS decided not to push the exposed racks with Aegis and instead decided to have to hit and take a tower instead. Which They probably could have just gotten the racks if they went to the lane with an exposed racks. But maybe just a little bit of a misplay, miscommunication. You take Roche, you're already top half of the map, so just go top lane type stuff. But
Willow is going Wind Waker. I'm very curious. Maybe it's to save anybody that Ursa goes on. Not really sure what the...
I mean, Wind Waker is just a nice item.
I mean, yeah, it is, but I'm wondering, like, is it nice enough to merit? Oh,
OD will
gosh.
Astral
OD's out of
himself
Astrals
here.
now. That feels a
And
little bit
Dusa
weird.
has a eye, so he's not going anywhere alongside the fact that he walked into another bramble.
Ursa was on the other side of the map pushing. Now he's going to be trying to run his way, farm his way back towards the top lane before the Dire gets back to his base again. Looks like Roche is not going to be up for another couple of minutes at least. Sand King, did he finish an item or did he go for a... He stopped and go for a Yules instead? Oh. Yeah, alright, Sand King gave up on the Halberd, decided he needs one more interim item.
I mean, Yules is just a dumb, like a really stupidly good item on Sand King.
Yeah, and especially this game, like he's been going in and then kind of just getting hit by things, so that'll give him a little bit more sustain.
They will find this Witch Doctor here, and that Odie is on dieback from that.
Lucky
death
bash
a
by
bit
the
ago.
Ursa, gets the Dark Willow kill 1 for 1, but the racks are going to go down. They're not able to defend without the OD.
Yeah, I mean, I think they transition mid here.
Radiant should definitely be able to transition mid here. They know the OD doesn't have buyback. They have time, but they don't feel confident.
Yeah, I mean, not feeling confident enough to just walk across the high ground and just walk on over, wanting to get the creep wave. I mean, it's the smarter, safer play to do that.
I don't know, because
than
now
to
by the
just-
time they get there, the OD's going to be up again. I don't think you have to walk across the high ground, but you could definitely walk outside the base and then just fight in there, because you still have creeps in the top.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just not feeling confident enough that they can do that.
Yeah, well now they'll get this tower, but by the time they do, the OD's going to be alive, and then it's going to be a decision time. Do they stay and fight with the OD, or do they back off and just be happy with the tower?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
they
again,
decide to back
they're-
off. The tower's good enough.
They're pushing lanes with. They're pushing the lane that isn't the already exposed rack
Yeah, well now
just to
they're
get a tier 3.
all exposed racks now.
But they got insanely lucky and had an almost instant Roche spawn. So
Oh, all right, good call. Good
with a
catch.
shard.
Very nice. Going right over to it. Got the refresher shard. Is that
This
going to
is the
Medusa, or
kind
is that
of
going to
game
Jug?
where. This is the kind of game where if I'm subwoof over here playing Tide, I'm just gonna be like, hey, why am I buying Refresher Orb when I have not enough mana to ever cast it? 2 Ravages in a row. I don't know what I'm doing apparently. Not to be
That's
rude.
a good point. I did not notice that, but he doesn't have the mana boots. He doesn't have any plus mana or int items.
You to be able to double Ravage, you need at least Arcane Boots, and
Yep.
in order to do it with just Arcane Boots, you need to Ravage.
hit the
Or
boots.
no, you need Guardian Greaves to do it, because you need to Guardian Greave, or you need to Ravage, Guardian Greaves, Refresher, Ravage, and you just barely have enough at like level 20.
Yeah, maybe he's not expecting to go back to back, but he's expecting to like do it. The fight's gonna go long. He dies. He buys back. He runs back in, does it again, kind of a thing. That's the only option he has, honestly.
I don't think he's saving for buyback if he's going. If he's going Refresher here, he's buying it all. He's buying it
Yeah,
immediately.
very good point. Very
Not
good point.
on.
I question the refresher at this point in the game. I feel like you go for another item that helps you in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's not waiting another 17,000 gold to have a Refresher. He's buying it like now, which he
Yeah.
just did.
I guess what
He's
it
all
does
in.
do, it does at the very least, and I don't know if this is his thought process, but at the very least, when he uses Ravage in a fight, it puts him in a good spot. When Ravage is down, they're vulnerable. It stops them from having to deal with that. So as soon as their fight's over,
I mean-
he refreshes, now they're ready to fight again, and he gets to wait for the refresher cooldown.
Yeah, I mean, that is a possibility.
Yeah.
But... And Aegis is on Jug again. He does have the Refresher backpack to be able to,
Oh,
he-
Ursa coming in, very nice Ravage, and he hits
Oh.
the refresher, and he doesn't have the mana, as you called it out. That feels so bad. I'm so sorry
Jug,
to hear.
Earth, Tide's just in there like, oh, I used this item I spent 5k gold on.
Yep,
can't
subwoofer
use it
doing the
really.
walk of shame. Running, blinking back to base.
I mean, he'll have blink up in 10 if he wants to go back in, but they didn't even pop. They won't get Willow here thanks to Windwalker walking her on out.
Windwalker plus the spider legs letting Willow run across the map, and that's going to be mega creeps. So that was actually a nice initiation by the Ursa, a great follow-up by Subwoofer, but that thing that you pointed out that he apparently didn't do the math on stopped him from getting the second Ravage, which cost his team the fight.
You know, it cost you 950 mana to be able to cast 2 Ravage.
There it is. There's the second one. But is the damage going to come out?
Medusa isn't even taking any damage, and
yep,
there's
this game has officially ended. The Medusa's too strong now. The Ursa's going to go down. No buyback on the Ursa. And they're just going to slowly push the base and end now.
Ursa. Oh, maybe they hold 40 seconds for Ursa buyback.
Yeah, potentially they do a Nomad and dive the fountain, and then we have to stop the push. I don't know.
You have double buybacks in 40 if they don't GG out and they don't end.
No, that's a good. That's a really good first game. There's the GG coming out. Both teams played well. MTL started off a little slow, started catching some rhythm, and then a couple of key mistakes, and then that last clutch mistake on that refresher item. Let PSGS come back into this. Nice play by PSGS. Really good game one.
Yeah, I mean, you said their second most picked hero is Tide, but I mean, not to be rude, but I don't feel like maybe Subwoof is just not used to not having the man, and he's used to buying refresher way later.
I did not say
like,
that. I said the second most picked was Underlord. It's tied for second most picked. Tide is behind Underlord.
Oh, Tide!